Black Politics, Chapter 7, read by author Rashida Brown. I welcome you back for Chapter 7. As usual, if I mess up, just forgive me and just follow along. So let's begin Chapter 7. You know, you've been spending way too much time up there at this new so-called job of yours. Rosa's husband, Todd, complained, chugging his beer. Rosa and Todd have been together for 8 years. They have two children together, Andy, who's 8, and Chad, who's 10. Rosa has been a stay-at-home mom since Chad was born. She recently decided to start back working, and Mike happened to reach out to her just in time. Todd owned his own construction company and disapproved of Rosa working. However, he agreed to let her work at the organization if she can still do her duties at home. Rosa has tried to get out of this abusive relationship with Todd many times, but Todd still had power over her, no matter how hard she tried. We're working on something big, babe, Rosa said hesitantly as she set the table. Remember the underage boy who was shot by the police and survived? Rosa asked, handing Todd another beer. Aw, yeah, what about it? Todd said, kicking his boots off, chugging another beer down. Well, the organization I'm working with is getting ready to host an event for him and his family to bring awareness to their situation and others like it, Rosa said. Todd kept looking at the TV with his feet propped up on the table. As Rosa talked, Rosa continued to speak as she fixed the plates. That's why I've been working late so much. I've been working hard to make sure this event comes together. I like it here and I'm happy to be getting back to work. I'm happy to be getting back to doing what I love. We can always use the extra income, plus I'm still able to take care of the home, so nothing's changed, Rosa said, kissing Todd on the cheek. So come on, let's eat. I'll go get the boys, Rosa said, walking down the hallway. Come on, boys, it's time to eat, Rosa called. Oh, come on, Mom. Can we have a few more minutes on the game? Chad groaned. No, you know your father does not like waiting. So pause the game and come on, Rosa ordered, standing in the doorway with her arms folded. The boys got up and walked to the dining room. Rosa was quiet most of the dinner. She had so much on her mind it was difficult to hide it all. After dinner, Rosa cleaned up and put the boys to bed. After the boys are asleep, she usually bathes and enjoys herself a glass of wine with a late night read. But tonight was different. Rosa wasn't in the mood for any of that. She's tired of living her life in Todd's shadow, and she wanted to start living for her. She just didn't know how to break free from him. After Rosa got out of the tub, she headed to bed. Todd was gone out gambling with his friends. Rosa got used to not going to bed with him. It was those nights when she knew she could rest and not have to worry about conflict with him. It was the following day and Todd didn't come home again. She woke up to a text from him saying he was sorry for not coming home and that he was too drunk to drive, so he stayed at a friend's house. But of course, Rosa knew precisely what that meant. She was no fool to what Todd was doing. Rosa fixed the boys some breakfast and got them ready for school. Boys, don't forget to pack your bags, Rosa reminded them, wiping the kitchen counter down. The boys spend the weekends with Rosa's parents and Todd's. They rotate them each week. Grandpa and Grandma are here, Andy yelled out. Okay, open the door, Rosa yelled out. There is my girl, Rosa's dad said. Rosa hugged both parents and helped them carry the boys' things to the car. Rosa hugged both boys before they got into the car. I put everything they need in their bags. Can you make sure Chad's teacher get this permission slip? It's for a field trip next week, Rosa said, handing her mother the paper. Rosa's mother moved the hair dangling over Rosa's eyes behind her ear. So how are you doing? Miss Rodriguez asked. Rosa forced a smile on her face, hugging her mom. I'm doing great, Mom. Now get out of here. You don't want the boys to be late for school, do you? They both laughed. Of course not. Take care of yourself, Miss Rodriguez said, getting into the car. Rosa nodded her head, waving as they drove off. She quickly ran back into the house to finish getting dressed for work. Then she texted Todd to ask him what he wanted for dinner and headed to work. Rosa walked into the office and greeted everyone. Then she put her things on her desk and headed to the conference room for their morning meeting. Good morning, everyone, Adara said, walking into the conference room with Amina behind her. They both sat down at the table beside each other. Sorry, guys, but Abaddon won't be joining us today. He had some family business to tend to, Adara announced as Amina passed out their morning briefs. So the papers that Amina is passing out is an update on where we are with the hiring process and the programs we're working on starting. So this meeting won't be long. I will try not to take up too much of your time. I know we all got work to do, Adara said. So we have just about everything in place for the event. So great job to everyone on that. The only thing we have left to do is pass out flyers and get these tickets sold. We will be doing that this weekend. If you cannot volunteer this weekend, I understand. It is off the clock, and I know we got other things and people to tend to. So is everybody able to come and is it so if everybody able to come and help out? Adara asked, looking around the table. Everyone nodded their heads, confirming they could join. Rosa knew Todd would not be happy, but she couldn't miss out on this she could not miss out on this. Great. So the only thing left to talk about is setting up the meeting with Ahmad and Sean's family. We want to get that taken care of before the march. We need to hear his side of the story, and Ahmad and Mike can give them some pointers on what to say and what not to say. Also, see what we can do about the situation as far as a lawsuit, Adara said. They wrapped up their meeting and Rosa headed to her desk. You all right? Akita asked, sitting at her desk beside Rosa. Rosa was sitting at her desk staring at her computer screen. Oh, yeah, I'm okay. I'm just happy to be a part of this. For the longest, I wanted to do something that I could do and enjoy. I know something that didn't feel like a job. You know, something that didn't feel like a job, Rosa said. I know what you mean, trust me. After my boyfriend died and my brother was wrongly convicted of a crime he didn't do, I had this deep longing to do something that could make a big impact. That's when I became an activist and started focusing on reforms and things of that sort. I just got tired of seeing my people killed in the streets and always getting the leftover crumbs, Akita said. I know exactly what you mean. Unfortunately, Latinos don't have it as bad as your people do, but we got to share of our problems, Rosa said, taking a sip of her coffee. That's why I'm glad Adara and Abaddon started this program so not only do people of color get recognized, but also other minority groups who go unrecognized, Rosa said. Amen, my sister. Amen to that, Akita agreed. After Rosa got done with her work at the office, she headed to the dry cleaners to pick up Todd's suit. Once she was done there, she headed to the grocery store to pick up some groceries. It's 3:30 in the afternoon and Todd usually doesn't make it home until about 5:30. Rosa put on some music, hung up Todd clothes and started dinner. She poured herself a glass of wine and kicked off her shoes, listening to Selena up as she chopped up bell peppers and onions. After a couple of glasses of wine, Rosa started dancing to the music, cha-chaing around the living room. Rosa was enjoying herself too much to notice Todd standing behind her. Bitty bitty bumba, bitty bitty bumba, Rosa sang, twirling around to Todd, standing there hovering over her. Ah, Rosa said, spilling her drink on Todd's shoes. I'm so sorry. I didn't know you were standing behind me. I'll clean that up. Rosa quickly grabbed a dish towel and knelt down to wipe Todd's shoes. And knelt to wipe Todd's shoes. I didn't know you would be home early. Dinner will be ready in a minute, Rosa said, grabbing the mittens off the counter steaks to take the baked steaks out of the oven. Rosa walked over to hug and kiss Todd. So how was your day? Todd walked over to the couch and turned on the TV. It was okay. Grab me a beer, won't you? Todd said. Rosa grabbed Todd a beer and brought it to him. Well, I'll get the table set and get the plates fixed, Rosa said. Just bring me my plate. No need to sit at the table tonight. The kids aren't home, Todd said, kicking off his shoes. I know, honey. I just thought that you and I could spend some time together, Rosa said, sitting on Todd's lap. Just bring me my plate, woman. I'm trying to eat my dinner in peace before I head out, Todd said, removing Rosa's legs off of his. Rosa stood up, walking to the kitchen, looking back at Todd, who's paying her no attention. She fixed his plate and handed it to him with another beer. Rosa sat at the table and ate her food in silence as she looked over at Todd watching TV. After Todd is done eating, he put his dishes on the counter and walked over to Rosa. Did you pick up my suits from the dry cleaners? Todd asked. Yes, I already hung them up for you, Rosa replied, looking down at her plate. Good girl. Make sure you clean this mess up, Todd said, patting Rosa on her head as he headed to the room. I'm sick of this, Rosa mumbled. Finally, Rosa finished her dinner and put the leftovers up. Then she cleaned the kitchen she cleaned the kitchen and living room up while Todd took a shower. Buzz, buzz. Rosa walked over to the couch and picked up Todd's phone. Unfortunately, she didn't recognize the number and it wasn't saved to his phone. Rosa put the phone down and started to walk away, and then the phone rang again. Rosa checked the room to see if Todd was still in the shower and rushed over to the couch to answer the phone. Hello? Rosa said. The phone is quiet for a moment. Hello, who is this? Rosa asked. Who is this? The lady on the phone asked back. This is Rosa, Todd's wife. How can I help you? Oh, great, he has a wife. Oh, great, he has a wife, the lady said jokingly. Look, Rosa, tell Todd to hurry up and get over here before I change my mind. He knows not to keep me waiting, the lady snapped. Before Rosa could get a word in, the lady hung up. The lady hangs up. Rosa could hear Todd turn the shower off and quickly put his phone back like it was. She rushed to the laundry room to start the laundry. Todd walked into the laundry room all dressed up. Look, don't forget we have that lunch date with my family tomorrow. I'll be gone tonight, so I'll be home to pick you up so we can ride over there together, Todd said. Where are you going? Rosa asked. You know better than to ask me that, Todd said, kissing Rosa on the forehead. Look, Todd, I can't make it to lunch tomorrow. I have to do something at work, Rosa said, walking behind Todd. Well, it looks like you will have to call in. I'll see you tomorrow, Todd said, slamming the door behind him. It's the following day, and Rosa got out of bed and fixed herself a smoothie for breakfast. She got a text from Adara this morning telling her the location they would be at. After she finished drinking the smoothie, she got dressed and headed out. As Rosa pulled into the parking lot, she saw Adara and a few others setting up. Rosa sent Todd a text letting him know she could not make the lunch and that she would see him later. Rosa got out of the car and helped Akita hang up signs. Adara and her mom were setting up food and drinks to pass out to the community. Adara posted that they were giving out free food and selling tickets for the event on her social media accounts. A group of brothers and sisters went through the neighborhoods, passing out flyers, letting people know about the event. Amina was selling the tickets and signing up people for the event. The day was going great. They had music, food, and games. Many people were coming up there purchasing tickets. Ty was blowing up Rosa's phone, but she kept ignoring his calls. He had left several voicemails and texts, but Rosa didn't answer any of them. Instead, she was enjoying herself and the work she was doing. She and Nikita partnered up and went down the street posting up flyers in local businesses. So you ready for this event? Akita asked. I'm as ready as I can get, Rosa responded. Me too. I mean, I know we're doing the event for a serious matter, but I love the fact that it gives our people a chance to come together, Akita said. Me too. I just wish it was under a different circumstance, Rosa said. Right. Like why do we only come together when someone dies or get hurt? We are supposed to have each other's back no matter what. That's just not the case, though, Akita said, walking into the grocery store. They both walk up to the cashier clerk. Excuse me, ma'am, can I speak to your manager? Rosa asked. Is there something I can help you with? The store clerk asked. Sure, we're trying to see if it's okay if we post this flyer on your board, Rosa said. Yes, that's fine if you can find room on there, the store clerk said. Thank you, both Rosa and Akita said. Then they posted the flyer and headed back to the location. That's your husband, isn't it? Akita said, pointing to Todd. Yes, it is, Rosa replied, shaking her head. Is everything okay? He doesn't look so happy, Akita observed. Yes, it's fine. Let me see what he wants, Rosa said, walking up to Todd. She pulled him to the side. What are you doing here, Todd? Is everything okay? Rosa asked. Is everything okay? You have got to be kidding me, Todd said in an angry, calm tone, pacing back and forth. I asked you to do one thing, and you can't even do that right. All I asked you to do was show up for the lunch. Do you know how embarrassed I was when I had to make up an excuse why I could not come to lunch last minute? Todd said. Yes, the same way I look all the time, Rosa said. Excuse me? Todd shouted. Then everyone turned their attention over to Todd and Rosa. Lower your voice, Todd, before you embarrass yourself. Look, I'm sorry I couldn't make the lunch, but I told you I had to work, and this means a lot to me, Rosa said. Todd just stood there for a moment. I'm about to head home, and you better beat me there, Todd said, getting in his truck and speeding off. Rosa walked over to Adara and let her know she was leaving early to handle a family matter. She got in her car and drove home. As she pulled into the driveway, Todd got out of his truck and walked in the door. Here we go, Rosa said, heading to the house. As soon as she entered the house, she sees Todd pacing the floor back and forth. You do not have to embarrass me like that. I put up with too much from you, Todd, Rosa said, taking off her shoes and coat. I put up with your drinking, cheating, and so much more. I'm finally doing something that makes me happy and makes me feel good. Why can't you just be happy for me? Rosa pleaded, walking up towards Todd. If you don't want me, why won't you just let me go? I'm tired of pretending for everyone else. I'm not happy, and I can't keep living like this, Rosa said. Maybe we should get Before Rosa could finish her sentence, Todd backhanded her. Rosa stood there holding her face. You think I'm going to let you leave me, huh? Todd yelled, walking closer to Rosa as she stepped back. You don't have an opinion. You do what I say. You were nothing before you met me. I gave you this good life. You want to leave, go ahead, but my boys are staying with me. You know you don't want to fight me over this, Todd said. Please, just let me go, Rosa sobbed, backing into a corner. Todd grabbed Rosa by her hair, dragging her across the floor. Is that what you want, huh? He throws a blow to her right jaw. You sit there wasting your time with them damn people who sit around all day doing nothing but causing problems. They always want a handout. No wife of mine will be wasting her time feeding into their mess, Todd shouted, throwing a few more blows to Rosa's face. Rosa lay on the floor with her face covered in blood, scared to talk and unable to move. Now get up and clean yourself up. I'll be back tonight. Have dinner cooked. You know what I like, Todd ordered as he headed out the door. The end of chapter 7.